You've felt it, haven't you? That whisper in the silence. That tug in your chest you can't quite explain. The ache that's not pain, but a knowing, like your heart has been waiting for this moment longer than your mind can comprehend. The angels lean in now, and they say, "He didn't expect you. But heaven did." You were placed in his path not to fit into his story, but to rewrite it. You didn't just arrive, you were sent. Sent to awaken what was dormant, to stir the waters of a soul that had grown still. And now, everything inside him is beginning to shift. He's never experienced a presence like yours. Not one that sees through the layers. Not one that makes him feel completely unraveled, yet more whole than ever. The divine used your eyes to reflect his spirit back to him. And that reflection is cracking the armor he built over years of forgetting who he truly is. You weren't sent to save him. You were sent to remind him that he still can be. And what's unfolding now is sacred. Not loud, but powerful. Not rushed, but undeniable. The angels show me that your meeting was not a coincidence. It was timed by the eternal, precise, divine, necessary. The look in his eyes that day, that wasn't attraction. That was recognition. His soul whispering, "There you are." And now, even though his world may seem untouched on the outside, something sacred is unraveling within him. The way he breathes when he thinks of you. The way his silence has grown heavier. The way your name lingers in his mind. This is not ordinary love. This is alignment. Assignment. Divine orchestration. And it began with you saying yes to being seen. For it is written, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Jeremiah 1 verse 5, there is a part of him that still believes he must carry his pain alone. That the shadows he buried long ago are safer left untouched. So when you came, with eyes that didn't flinch at his darkness, with love that didn't ask for masks, he panicked. The angels say, his silence is not rejection. It is protection. Protection for wounds so deep that he barely understands their shape. He carries stories he never told. Not out of pride, but fear. Fear that if you saw the brokenness behind the strength, you might leave too. But oh dear soul, you were sent not to judge his silence, but to read between its lines. He resists because you awaken the parts of him he's kept quiet for decades. The part that wants to believe in love that lasts. In hands that don't punish. In hearts that don't walk away when things get real. So, he withdraws. He creates distance. He pretends he doesn't feel what he feels. And every time he does, it's not because you're too much, it's because you're the one thing that feels like the truth. You are the crack in his armor. The angels whisper that he's terrified of needing you. Terrified of the power you hold without even trying. He's never been seen like this before, and it shakes him. Because to be truly seen is to risk being truly hurt. And yet, he stays connected, quietly, distantly, because even in fear, he cannot look away from your light. This is not personal. This is ancient. His heart was not taught how to open. It was taught how to survive. But the angels say, every time you love him without demanding, without fixing, without proving, a wall inside him crumbles. Slowly. Spiritually. Irreversibly. And love begins its sacred work. You must not dim your light waiting for him to find his. The angels say, you are not here to disappear into someone else's healing. You are here to remember your own wholeness, even when his love feels like a whisper. This journey was never about proving your worth to someone who cannot yet see clearly. It was about anchoring into the truth that your love is not measured by how much you sacrifice, but by how deeply you remain true to your soul. He is learning, yes. But so are you. You are discovering that being gentle is strength. That boundaries are not walls, but sacred spaces. That choosing yourself is not rejection, it is honor. He may pull away. He may return. He may linger at the edge of your light, hesitant to step in. But your job is not to wait in the shadows. Your job is to shine. The angels surround you with golden light now, whispering. She who chooses herself becomes magnetic to what is divine. You've spent lifetimes caring for others, loving through storms, holding hearts that never learned to hold yours back. But this time, this lifetime, is different. This time you are being asked to turn the love inward. Yes, love him. Yes, pray for his healing. But never abandon the temple of your own spirit to keep someone from falling. He will rise, if it is meant to be. But you must walk. You must breathe. You must dance in your light and let that be enough. And when he looks for you, he will find a woman not waiting, but glowing. The angels say, he is watching you now in awe. Not just for your love, but for your strength. He does not need you to shrink. He needs you to be the fire that reminds him what's possible. Hold your light. That is the medicine. He didn't know his own reflection until he saw it in your eyes. The angels speak gently now. You are not his wound. You are his mirror. And sometimes, the hardest thing for a soul to face is its own truth, especially when it's wrapped in love. You reflect back the parts of him he buried long ago. The hopes he abandoned. The tenderness he denied. The softness he told himself he could never afford. You didn't come to fix him. You came to show him what still lives inside. And that's why he flinches. Not because you're too much, but because you make him feel again. When you laugh, it reminds him of the joy he has buried. When you listen, it reveals the noise he carries inside. When you love unconditionally, it exposes the barriers he's built around his own heart. He doesn't know how to accept that kind of clarity yet. It's disorienting, sacred, unsettling, healing, all at once. The angels say, you were never meant to be easy for him. You were meant to be real. And real love asks for surrender. That's what frightens him. Not you, but the version of himself he will have to become to fully embrace you. He sees in you a kind of truth that doesn't make compromises. A soul that doesn't settle. A fire that refuses to flicker just to make someone else comfortable. And yet, it's that very fire that draws him closer, even as he trembles. Let him tremble. That is part of the breaking. That's how the old self falls away. The mirror never lies. But it also never disappears. The angels remind you now, every time he turns away, he is still carrying your reflection. It lives inside him now, changing him, quietly, unstoppably. He may not express it, but he sees you. Oh, how he sees you. He's beginning to see it now. Not in fireworks, not in grand gestures, but in the quiet ache he feels when you're not close. In the way your name resonates in his chest when the world goes still. The angels say, awakening rarely begins with clarity. It begins with longing. And he is longing. For something he cannot name. For something he has only ever felt in you. At first, he thought he could move beyond it. That time or distance would dull the feeling. But instead, it deepens. Every day, every silence, every dream where you appear, he's awakening to the truth. That no one else feels like home. He notices things now. How others don't laugh the way you do. How conversations feel empty unless they carry your presence. He doesn't fully understand it. But he knows something inside him is shifting. The angels whisper, your soul has left a signature on him. A trace of light he can't forget. A tenderness that lingers even in your absence. He may not run to you yet. But he's looking for you in places where you're not. And every time he doesn't find you, his heart aches louder. This is the beginning. Not of love, because that already exists. But of remembrance. He is remembering the truth of who you are. Not just a woman he once knew, but a turning point. A spiritual marker. A mirror and a guide. And now, as he lies awake at night, wrestling with questions he never dared to ask before, the veil is lifting. Slowly. This is not obsession. It is initiation. He is being called inward. Into the sacred space where he must choose, live half asleep, or risk waking up. And the angels say, the moment of choice is near. He leaves, but he never truly lets go. The angels say, every departure is not distance, it's a loop. A return waiting to happen. You've felt it. That rhythm. The pull, the pause, the return. As if he's caught in a tide that never really carries him away, only drags him back into himself, until he's ready to come closer again. And every time he does, he's a little different. Not whole, but cracked open in new places. It's not because he's playing with your heart. It's because your love confronts his illusions. You represent everything he told himself wasn't real. And now he has to choose between the safety of numbness and the chaos of feeling alive. So he resists. Not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. He needs the space to run so he can remember why he wants to return. The angels reveal, this is a soul who fears devotion because no one ever showed him what it feels like to be held without needing to perform. And so, he tests it. Unconsciously, he withdraws to see if the light fades. But your light doesn't fade. It waits. Not passively, not painfully, but wisely. You don't chase. You don't beg. You trust. And that unsettles him more than any goodbye. He is learning through this rhythm. Through the leaving and returning. And the angels whisper, this pattern will shift when he stops fearing the stillness between your hands. For now, let it be. Let him struggle. Let him roam. The bond is not broken. It's blooming in a soil that cracks before it brings forth life. This is not rejection. It's recalibration. He will come again. And next time, he may stay longer. There's a reason his heart aches in your absence, even when he can't explain why. The angels say, love isn't loud. Sometimes, it's the silence that heals. He may not have the words, but your presence has done something irreversible. It touched what even his own prayers couldn't reach. You didn't enter his life like a storm. You arrived like balm. Gentle. Steady. And that softness unsettled him, because he was used to love as a battlefield. Not a sanctuary. Your love didn't demand. It witnessed. And in that witnessing, he began to feel seen in a way he'd never known. The angels show me now, even when he pushed you away, something sacred stayed behind. Your energy lingers in the places he tries to distract himself from. Your name still carries warmth in his mouth. He may not call. He may not show up. But in the quiet hours, he remembers. The way your voice calmed his chaos. The way your patience softened his edges. The way your silence was never empty, it was permission. Permission to feel. To unravel. To be. This is not a story of fixing. This is a story of frequency. Of love as vibration. As atmosphere. And your atmosphere has changed him. The angels speak. You are the medicine his soul wasn't looking for, but couldn't resist. There is no timeline for healing. No guarantee for arrival. But know this, something inside him has already begun to shift because of the love you gave. You gave without control. And in doing so, you gave him a glimpse of God. And though he may never say it, his spirit bows in reverence to yours. Healing has begun. The path you're walking was never meant to make sense to others. The angels say, what feels delayed is not denial, it is divine design. You see the gaps. The silence. The spaces where clarity should live. But heaven sees the alignment. The choreography. The invisible hands moving all things into sacred order. He is not lost. He is being prepared. There are lessons his soul must complete before he can stand beside you with the depth your love deserves. And though it hurts to wait, the angels are clear, this is not waiting. This is weaving. Every step he takes, even the ones that look like detours, are part of a greater unfolding. You, dear soul, are not forgotten in this. You are the lighthouse he keeps turning back to. You are the prayer he didn't know his heart was whispering. And the divine? It is orchestrating what you cannot yet see. The angels say, you were given this connection not for its ease, but for its sacredness. This kind of love doesn't bloom overnight. It is carved over time, through surrender, through faith, through fire. You may feel alone some days, but you are never without guidance. There are signs, that song on the radio, the timing of his message, the way his name echoes in moments of stillness. These are not accidents. They are affirmations. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7. Trust the rhythm that doesn't rush. Trust the story that unfolds in divine breath, not human pressure. The angels walk with you. And when the time is right, he will too. He wants to love you. He just doesn't know how to lay down the sword. The angels say, his heart isn't hard, it's armored. And beneath that armor lives a boy who was never taught that love could be safe. A man who grew strong in silence, but never learned how to speak the language of surrender. You see glimpses of softness. The way he pauses when you smile. The way he almost says something, then swallows it whole. He wants to tell you. Wants to confess how your presence haunts him, how your absence echoes. But vulnerability, to him, feels like risk. Like walking barefoot into fire. The angels whisper, he was taught to endure, not to receive. That's why your gentleness disarms him. Why your consistency confuses him. You don't force. You don't chase. You simply love. And that, to him, is terrifying. Because real love, the kind that sees without demanding, stays without condition, requires him to undo everything he thought kept him safe. He is not rejecting you. He is confronting the edges of who he thought he needed to be. And yes, that confrontation hurts. It unearths old ghosts, buried pain. But it also makes space for truth. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Psalm 34 verse 4. He is learning to breathe without his armor. Slowly, awkwardly, but still. And one day when his soul is ready, he will come to you, not perfect but open. Not certain, but honest. And it will be worth every silence. Every ache. Every moment you chose love over fear.